Hello and welcome back, guys. All right, so I'll give you 4 seconds to click that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out if you click the subscribe button, and it costs you nothing. So thank you for subscribing. Let's continue learning. So I want this to look different from the part where the student is just the lecturer is looking at the questions, because this is the lecturer's view, but we want the student to take the test here, so this must look different. So to start with, let's change a few things here. Let's remove the shadows and borders on these things, because I want these to look just like standalone questions and answers. And also maybe we can remove the obvious stuff like the edit and delete buttons. We don't need those here at all. We don't even need to see the answer here, so let's remove that as well. So let's come down here and let me close all the currently opened files. So what file do we look for here? This is the tech test right here. Tech test tab view, because that's where the questions are viewed from. So first of all, we remove the edit and delete. They're down here, so let's get rid of those babies. So back here, let's see what we have. Okay, pretty good. Let's remove the shadows as well. Let's see here, rounded, where does the shadow come from? This one has shadow. Let's remove that, just so we can have a very different view. That's question 1, question 2, question 3. And of course, let's remove the part where we see an answer. So where is the answer here? Right here, correct answer. So let's get rid of that. That's good. Let's refresh. Okay, so we still have an answer here, so I guess yeah, this one right here at the top, because this is for the objective part, this is for the multiple choice. Let's refresh. Okay, no answers there either. 2 points. Blah, blah, blah. But now we have to give the student space to put their answer. So easy peasy. Let's start with the objective ones right here. So here I will put an input of type text, and the name I will give it his answer, and I will put a placeholder and say type your answer here, something like this. Let's give it a class of form control. That way it uses our bootstrap. All right, so type your answer here. So another objective question. So this could be a question, what, and then you type your answer there. Just keep going and you type your answer here, etc, etc. So why is this one doesn't have one? What's going on? New test with image. Okay, so copy that, and then we come down to the multiple choice as well. I'm not even sure where that answer thingy was, but let's put it right here at the bottom. Same thing. Let's see if that did something. Yeah, for the multiple choice. So here we don't need this text box at all, so I'm going to remove that. But why am I having these problems here? Let's see. There's objective, so that only shows on the objective. There's multiple choice, and where is the other one though? Okay, I can make reference to the other one, which is tests tab view inc. No, that's not the one. This tab. Yeah, actually that should be the one. Let's see down here. So we have objective, we have answer there, and we have edit and delete. Okay, so the answer is only on this one, and this one. So it doesn't look like I'm missing anything. So why don't I have a new question with an image, with a comment? Okay, either way, maybe what we can do instead is okay, let's put an else if instead here, because it seems if question with image. Okay, so right here where we have this question objective, instead of end if, let's put else here, and then put full colon. That way we are elsing this one here, which makes sense. So let's come back. We shouldn't see a problem here. And for each, wait a minute. Okay, that didn't work out. Why? There's an if statement here with an end if there, and then there's another if statement here with an end if there. There's a for each here. So where is, oh, there is a for each there and a closing for each. So this doesn't seem like it should be a big deal at all. And another if statement there. So let's try it again. So if, else, if, and end if. What about this for each down here? There's another for each there. And then another if statement and another if statement. Okay, so it seems all good, but why? Unexpected token end for each on line 66. Okay, let's see, where is that? This one. Yeah, this isn't very good programming here. I end up being confused by my own content here because of this poor way of doing things. So don't be like me. Be neat in your coding here, mixing HTML and yeah, this looks just fine, but for some reason it isn't working. So there's if and if and if else and then if. Anyway, let me undo it. Let's figure out another way to do that. So let me just copy the question thingy here again, and let's try and add it right there, like so. Let's see what that does. So the problem is it puts it here as well. There, it's not a problem that there are two, but at least we have one on each one of these. The only problem is that it shows up in the multiple thing there, which is what I did not want. So no problem there. Let's just say, let's remove this one, this input here. Instead, we're just going to put an anti-if statement down here to counter the other one. So copy. Let me put this one down here. We don't want this when there is, let me copy the end if. And close it there. So if question type is not equal to multiple, let's put this input right there. Let's refresh. Okay, so now we have where to add answers here. Very good. Okay, good. Objective and subjective, except for the multiple choice. So this is good enough. At least we have answers here. But then we need names for this place. So the name is answer, right? But instead of naming them like that, we're just going to put an ID, because we need to know what question number this is. So I'm just going to put question here, move that question like so, copy, and then I will put an ID here. Now also, we can check what actually identifies a test question. So let's go in here and look at this. So there's a test ID, test questions. So this identifies which test it's from, but then there's no other ID here except this one ID there. So that's okay. We can use that as well. So let's equal it out like this, question. Okay, so that's the answer there. Now remember that the only inputs here are for answers, so not for questions, just for answers. So why are we having that problem? Okay, because we didn't put an arrow and say ID. Sorry about that. And let's refresh. Okay, now the way it had happened there, you didn't see an error at all. If I refresh this, you don't see an error here at all, but the error is there. You know there's a problem because it's not showing the rest of the questions. So in this case, you can say view page source and then go down to the very end and you will find the error down here. So just something to keep in mind with stack trace over here, and it will tell you that there's an error here which says object of type cannot be converted to a string. So I was trying to convert to echo out an object instead of a string. So we put the ID there and everything is honky-dory now. Let's refresh and there we go. So this is an input now with a specific ID, so that is good. And what else here do we need? So we just need this. There's multiple choice A, B, C, and then we need the answers down here. And then we need to let them tick the one they want. So maybe instead of putting A, B, C, D, we could put inputs right here. Instead of this tick mark, we put inputs here and let the user select. So instead of saying multiple choice on the header, where is that? We can say select an answer. Select your answer. Okay. And then where we are putting this tick mark right there, we don't even need an if statement anymore here. All we need really is an input. So we'll put an input of type radio. So the reason we're using radio is because only one of them can be active at a time. So I'll do this and I'll say equals, for as long as they have the same name, only one of them will be active at a time. So let's put question here again, question ID, like that. Okay, and then we definitely need a value for this one. So what is the value? Now the value here is going to be whatever letter we put here. So whether it's A, B, C, D, that's the value. So the letter itself, then we can use that to compare with the answers. So there we go. So you see one there, one there. Only one can be active at a time, which is a good way to make your selection. But then what else here? We need a class name because I want to float these guys to the other side. That way they look better. Okay, so that bracket there messed things up. Okay, so at least they're on the edge. That's good. And then we can, let's add a style. I want these guys to look a bit bigger. So let's do a transform and let's do a scale. I want to scale them. 1 is the normal, so I want to do 1.2 like this, and of course remove that thing that appeared there. Don't know why it keeps doing that. So at least they are bigger now. You can even make them 1.5 just to make things easier. And we can do cursor and put the pointer, and then also we can what else did I want to do here? Well, let's refresh. Maybe that will refresh my memory. At least now they look like this. Okay, so pretty cool. You get to choose your answer, and here you get to type your answers. Very nice. So now a student can take this test like this. So let's go back and click take test. Nothing here. Back, take this test, and here are the questions. Now, of course, you notice that question 8 comes at the top, and we need to do the opposite of that. And so all we need to do is just reverse the information we are getting here. So we can easily do that if we go to techtest.php in the index section here. Where is that? Where are we reading the questions from? So the questions come from here. And where then we can change this to ascending like so, because the default is descending. And let's see if that works. Yeah, the questions have swapped. As you can see now, the last question is here. The one that was on the top, the multiple choice one, is here. But if you notice, the numbers have remained as they are. Question 8 is still there. So we have to swap that as well. So let's go back to techtest.view down here. Techtest, where are we? There we go. So this is where the num, we used a variable called num. Actually, it's right in here. We didn't need to go anywhere because there's num right here. So num is going in reverse order. So instead of looking at the total questions, we shouldn't mind. We should just put this at number 0 and then use ++ here instead. So there we go. Let's refresh. And so we have question 1, 2, up to question 8 down here. All right, pretty cool. So now somebody can write their answers, and then we need a button down here at the very bottom. So after all these for each loops, let's see what this if statement is for. And this is for doing the whole loopy thingy. Okay, so if I type something here, I want to see where it appears, and in the grand scheme of things, it appears down here. So that's ideal. So what I want to do right here is let me put a center tag and then put a button tag, and I'll say save answers. Okay, so that way you know to save. So class button primary, and that should do it, right? Let's refresh, and there we go. So save answers right here, or save your answers, something like so. Save your answers. So you answer all these questions, and then boom, save. Now that won't run unless there's actually a form, right? So let's add a form real quickly here. I'm just going to cut the ending of that form. Just make sure we're on the end if. So I have to put this right inside the if statement right here. Okay, and then let's do a method which is equal to post. Like this. Okay, cool. So if I refresh and now click here, we have a refresh. So that's all good. Now let's learn how to get the questions, and then we can put some errors if there are some errors here. So I'll see you in the next video.